Story time. Participating in fencing club in approximately 2008-2009. So it's a number of years later. It's Wednesday, 22 October 2025. And here I, Tanis Coralee of Seattle, for the story time, reflect on participating in fencing club in approximately 2008-2009 when I was a student at Shoreline Community College in Shoreline, Washington State. Did I participate? Yes. Did I stick with it? No. So I have fenced, as in with like small swords. Yes. And so they actually had, I was a student at Shoreline Community College in Shoreline, Washington State. I started on campus and was the end of August 2008. Graduated June 2010 with my first college degree at 17 years of age. And it was early on, so it was that first year, and they had a fencing club, if I'm recalling correctly. And they had a fencing club, and I was like, really just like, it would be so cool. Just like, even if it's just once. And so there was somebody, he had a military background in the class and was involved with the fencing club, and so me and another one, and we were in mathematics class. So we're mathematics meets fencing club. Fencing is me, tennis, and other people who I wasn't the only person who went. So us mathematics nerds went to fencing club, and it was fun, and it was they did a really good job. Like, so I wasn't in charge of the club, right? So I'm talking about they because like there's an authority structure there. I was a participant. All right, so I went, and it was one where we actually got to practice footwork. And so footwork was the emphasis, and there's like actual physical attire, like barriers that are put on a person in fencing, and then there's the sword. But the emphasis, the bulk of the time, was actually on footwork and how to stand and how to walk, and it requires very particular leg placement and foot movement and leg movement, and it requires kind of like a crouch. So like, some people do like a bunch of lunges. Like fencing, one never leaves a lunge position. That's how difficult the sport is, right? So the hardest, I'd be like, in water polo we tread water and we aren't allowed to touch the bottom of the pool, and it's like similar to fencing in that sense of like, the rest position is not rest. It's not like they get a, push off a wall or hang on the wall for like 10 seconds and then go. It's like, there is no break. Okay. It's a difficult sport. It's kind of like running. There is no break. So in that sense, it was like a little bit of a woe. And it was one where in the time I spent participating, I did grasp that because they're going to, the intent is to jab the other person with a sword, and so like to score a point, so to speak. And so then there's like, okay, you just go forward, but the other person has a sword too, so there's a lot of defense that goes into it, because you're trying to make sure the other person does not stab you, right? So it's a really cool sport in that sense of the individual fencer is both offender and defender, and if one's bad at defending, they lose, right? So as a unnatural born defender and somebody who was a defender in soccer, it appealed to me, whereas people who are just like on attack mentality, it's really not a fit for that kind of a mindset. It's why fencing isn't mainstream in the United States of America. People don't care about defense. It's sad. Like, well, I'm Euro-Native American, so Native Americans do, but the rest have got issues, so there we go. It was one where I realized it takes a lot of creativity to offend and defend and do it well, and so I was like, I'm not going to stick with it, at least at this point in time, because that's like an all-encompassing, like actually figuring it out, and then muscle memory, like actually getting it in with repetition and stuff. And I was like, I'm a 15-year-old in high school and a full-time on college campus with multiple sports teams and other extracurricular activities. And I need to apply for a 4-year institution. So I had full-time work. Was that full-time work then? I was going into part-time year-round work and then full-time work after. So I had a lot going on. So there we go. That's story time. Participating in fencing club in approximately 2008-2009. As for the weekend Wednesday part of this, so this is, I'm gonna ease off my weekend Wednesdays after today. And for those who are interested, tentatively my last video of the day, kind of to wrap it up, is a pacing notes video. And there's gonna be a fair amount of, well, I intend to work on my emergency kit and glove compartment supplies today. So there's like a bookending approach to this is first and then pacing notes is last. But the distribution, the pacing there is about just not putting everything together. Like if I get everything I need and I'm gonna make a video showing what I got, then wait to film that until I've got the on location stuff posted, that kind of thing. So there's a little bit of shuffling today. Thank you for joining me.